Are you enjoying empty arena wrestling?
I hate WWE's product. It's I find them really hard to watch.
The Raws and SmackDowns?
Yeah, I know you don't watch AEW so much, but they have maybe 10 wrestlers around ringside. It's not a massive roar from the crowd, but at least it's something.
I've heard unanimously that AEW is doing a lot better with these empty shows.
Yeah, I mean this past week's show was a bit weak, but I think that was more just the matches they put on.
Well, I heard good things about the Jake Hager Moxley from you, and also just because I heard that Taz did commentary. He was talking about working the joints, like proper hardcore commentary.
So yeah,
that went down well.
So this Jake Hager match with John Moxley had a fantastic build, like unbelievable. So you didn't watch this week's AEW, did you? No. So the build was all throughout the night. They would have members of Bellator. You had announcers, you had Big John McCarthy, you had other fighters, trainers, and they were all bigging up Jake Hager. I think one person picked John Moxley. And then you had
in head interviews.
Yeah, it was just head interviews. It's like, oh, this guy can take you down, and like proper shoot interviews. They were just talking about him, and one of them picked John Moxley, and then there was a load of wrestlers as well, Taz and a few other people, and some of them picked Jake Hager, but most of them picked John Moxley. So there was really the divide, like, and then you had Jim Ross, like right at the end, and he broke the match down, and he was like, if this was just a straight match, submissions were allowed, Jake Hager would win this. It would be on the floor, Jake Hager would be our new champion, but they build it as like an empty arena, no holds barred match. That's what the match was. Everyone thought John Moxley was going to win. He did win. So the build was fantastic. So by the time it got to the match, I was more pumped for this than I was for anything on Mania. But then it was empty arena, so it felt a lot like Raw and SmackDown. It didn't have like the 10 people around ringside, which AEW usually do. So it lost a little bit. JR called the match by himself, and he was kind of, you know how sassy he gets sometimes?
Yeah, grumpy old man.
Yeah, so it was sassy JR by himself, and he wasn't getting excited about anything. There's a chair shot, and he goes, that's a chair shot, that's going to help him get a hold in a minute. There was no like someone going, whoa, this is crazy, he's going to kill him. There was none of that. And then it was just one of those Falls Count Anywhere matches type styles where they kind of went into the seating, threw a few punches, back around ringside for most of the match, and then finished the match in the ring. It was boring. I was expecting these two, a whole arena, to do anything. I was expecting them to go backstage to do something. No, it was awful. Yeah, the build was insane, and then the match ended up being rubbish.
Well, I guess I'll try next Wednesday then.
Yeah. I mean, over the course of 3 weeks, they made Jake Hager this guy that stands around behind Chris Jericho. They made him into a contender, a proper star, someone really exciting to watch, and then the match fell short. Yeah, so it kind of sucked.
Chris Jericho, anything Chris Jericho touches is gold. I don't watch AEW much, but I saw him face Scorpio Sky, and he made that seem like a massive deal at the time.
Yeah, they built Scorpio Sky up. I remember that for like a couple of weeks.
He did the same thing with Jungle Boy, I think.
Yeah, Jungle Boy went to like a 10-minute time limit draw, and they were building it as like, there's no way Jungle Boy could even step in the ring with Chris Jericho, and then they went to a draw, and it was a big deal.
It'd be so easy for WWE to do something like this. It's like 101, right?
It is such basic booking that they're doing, and it works. I mean, there are some people, but the majority of the AEW roster feel exciting and important. And every new match they present, maybe it's because they're still so young, we haven't had any like rematches and stuff like that. So everything feels fresh. Yeah, I mean, even when people lose, they still feel relevant, which WWE just can't do. Even when they debut someone new from NXT, they just can't make anyone feel relevant.
They're done within a month. Yeah. Aleister Black is the only guy I can think of that.
But that's only because they've been pushing him the last month. He's winning. He keeps winning. Is there anyone on the WWE roster that can eat a loss and then still feel important the next week?
It seems to be the only guys that are already made, and they were made without WWE's help.
Yeah, it's like when AEW first started, the Elite storyline, so Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks storyline, was that they couldn't pick up a win. They lost every week. And I think it was clever booking to build up other wrestlers to make them seem, these guys are on the same level as the almighty Kenny Omega. So their storyline was that they kept losing, but then they never lost their excitement because they are who they were.